Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Young here, and today I'm back into a Fortnite video. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys the number one setting you guys should change if you're looking to hit way more shots, if you're looking to be able to build faster and also edit faster. I'm going to show you guys the setting that you guys should change if you are looking to do those things. So definitely stay to the end of the video because this is a setting that you definitely want to give a look if you are looking to improve with those mechanics. And real quick, before we get into the video, I have a V-Buck giveaway. I give away 2,000 V-Bucks every single Friday. So if you guys want to take part in this giveaway and win some free V-Bucks, all you guys have to do is to drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys do turn on post notifications so you guys get notified for every single new video and when I announce the winners. And lastly, leave a comment down below of either your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account, and you guys will be automatically entered into the next giveaway. And lastly, make sure you guys do support me in the item shop. All you guys have to do is go down to the bottom right, click on support a creator, type in creator code YoungHumor, and you guys will have me added and supported as a creator in the item shop. And alright guys, let's right to the video. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to show you guys the number one setting that you guys should change if you are looking to improve your building, your editing, and most specifically, your aim here in Fortnite. So here, going into my settings, as you can see, I'm in my binds. And for the binds, there's two things that are really important that make all the difference in the world. So when it comes to the Xbox controller versus the PS4 controller, there is a significant difference on how the controller feels, or just how your analog sticks feel in general when you have on Xbox versus on PS4 just in the binds. So I wanted to be talking about the difference between the two, and if you play on Xbox controller, you can play on the PS4 binds, and if you play on PS4, you play on the Xbox. It doesn't change your binds at all. But one thing to keep in mind, as I said, when it comes to the analog sticks and how they feel completely different, and all you guys have to do to feel this is just go into creative. If you play on Xbox, go over to the PS4 binds, hit accept, and then you can build with it, aim with it, and you can see how it feels. There's a very clear difference in between the two. The PS4 binds feel a little bit more, in a sense, they feel a little bit more sturdy. They feel a little bit more like you have a little bit more control with the PS4 ones over the Xbox, but with the Xbox ones, you have a little bit more of a linear feel, which I think is very, very much helpful when it comes to building and editing here in Fortnite. So right now I do have the PS4 ones on, and to be honest with you guys, as I just mentioned earlier, it definitely feels a little bit better when it comes to aim, just because, as I said, there feels like to be a little bit more control when I'm playing on the PS4 ones versus on the Xbox. And I don't really know why that is, but I'm guessing it just has something to do with the input and just how it feels in relation to the binds. But it feels a little bit more sturdy, so it feels like I'm able to hit way more shots from range. So if you're looking to improve your aim, you feel like your aim isn't very good, I would recommend putting on the PS4 ones. And if you guys already play on PS4, then I don't know, maybe you can play on the Xbox one and see how it feels. But I think the Xbox one definitely feels a little bit more linear. It feels like I have a little bit better when it comes to building and editing. But as you can see on the PS4 binds, it feels very, very smooth. I feel like I'm able to track the targets very easily. I don't have any problems at all. I feel like I hit the majority of my shots. And when it comes to tracking in between the different bots, I feel like it was very easy and I had no problems at all. So I really do like the PS4 one. So here on the Xbox one, if you guys switch in creative, that's the best way to feel. It's kind of hard to really feel how it is in just a video, but go into creative yourself, try out the different ones, and you'll feel a clear difference. And on the Xbox one, it feels a little bit more linear. I still am able to go in between players very easily. I'm still able to track very well without too many problems, but I do notice the biggest advantage when it comes to building and also when it comes to editing, just because it gives more of a linear feel. That's the best way I can describe it. It feels a little bit more loose, but it doesn't feel too loose to the point where I'm just missing a bunch of shots and everything feels out of control. I still have really good control. It just feels a little bit more loose compared to the PS4 one, and I really do like this one a lot, and I think I like it more for building and editing, and that's why I still will probably play on the Xbox binds, even though the PS4 one is very good when it comes to hitting shots from range. So as you can see here, my builds still feel really good. I don't have any problems with it. I feel in a lot of control. I feel like I'm able to go for all of the edits and builds that I want to without any problems. So I really do like having the Xbox One binds in this regard. Now, as far as which one you should play on, to be honest, I would recommend just trying them both, no matter which controller you play on. I would recommend just looking at them both because For me, like I said, I think the Xbox one feels better for building and editing, and I do like the PS4 one for aiming. But as you can see here on the PS4 one, I'm just as good with building and editing. I don't feel like I have any problems at all. I feel like I'm able to hit all the edits, hit all the builds, but it just feels like I have a little bit more advantage on the PS4 when it comes to range. But I'm still able to do both very, very well. So when it comes to which one you like better, I think it's all just a personal preference, and I would recommend you give both of them a good try, because it might be kind of hard, and it's one of those things that even like if you change your sensitivity, if you change any binds or whatever the case may be, sometimes it just takes maybe a couple games, or maybe sometimes it takes like a day or two just to get the feel of how something is. So maybe it's one of those things you don't like necessarily at first, but then if you try it out for like a day or two and you go back and then you realize you actually liked it, it's probably one of those things that maybe you just don't, you're just not used to it at first. But it's just one of those things that once you grow on it a little bit, you actually end up liking it a lot. So I would recommend, if you play on PS4, to try out the Xbox binds, and if you play on Xbox, to try out the PS4. And as you can see, my tracking feels really good between going off and on the player. I feel like I'm being very accurate, and I feel like I'm able to track the other player just fine when I have my AR, my shotgun, and also my SMG. I don't know why I don't think they still have the charged shotgun in creative yet. Maybe they added it. I haven't seen it in a couple of days. But either way, here with the PS4 one, I feel like I'm very accurate in those close range situations. I don't feel like I'm having too much struggle when it comes to going off and on the other player. I feel like my tracking when it comes to aiming outside some range, and also when it comes to hip firing at, this is kind of like a medium hip fire length. Usually when you're in game, you're going to be a little bit closer to the other player. But either way, I still feel like I'm very accurate. And also, one other thing to mention, because they do feel different. So if you play on the Xbox one, just because it feels a little bit looser, you may or may not want to lower your sensitivity by like 1 or 2 points. Not too much, maybe like 1 or 2 points, just because I said it just feels a little bit faster overall. And when you're playing on the PS4 one, you might want to raise your sensitivity 1 or 2 points, because everything feels a little bit more sturdy and it feels a little bit more control. So you might want to raise your sensitivity a couple points. You don't have to. I personally would just probably play on the same sensitivity, but if you wanted to, you can definitely make those sensitivity adjustments, and I'm pretty sure you can definitely have a lot of benefit in that regard. So that was going to be the #1 setting that you guys definitely, I would recommend for every player to give a look at, just to see if you guys like it. And really could be a difference between being able to hit all of your shots versus building or editing really well. But if this thing really doesn't help you too much, I also do recommend some other things, like maybe changing your sensitivity a little bit, because when it comes to aiming, when you're playing on a little bit lower sensitivity, typically you're going to have a little bit more control. So if you feel like you're not hitting your shots, I would recommend lowering your sensitivity a couple points, just because I think that's really helpful for hitting a lot of your shots. And also, I would recommend lowering your building and editing sensitivity as well, because when you have a lower building and editing sensitivity, you're going to have much more control over your builds, meaning you're not going to overcorrect as much, which can actually improve your aim quite a bit. So there's a lot of other different things you can do with your sensitivity as well that can really help you out a ton and allow you to hit way more shots, help you build much faster and better at this game, or more smooth, depending on exactly, your building style and what you guys like. And of course, whenever I recommend changing your sensitivity, what you always want to do is you always want to change your sensitivity little by little, because if you make too much of a sensitivity change, what ends up happening is it's going to be very difficult to get used to the muscle memory. So say, for example, you play on like a 60%, X and Y sensitivity. You don't want to drop it down the next day to like a 45. That's going to feel really, really bad, and you're going to be missing a ton of shots. Versus if you play on 60 and maybe you lower it to like a 58 or 57%, it's going to be a lot easier to get used to. And if you want to lower it even more, I would recommend doing so. But you always want to make adjustments little by little. Otherwise, no matter what sensitivity you play on, it's going to feel really bad, because you're going to be missing so many more shots, and it's just going to feel so different to what you're used to. So if you ever do make any change in this game, whether you're changing your binds or maybe you're just changing your sensitivity, you always want to change things little by little. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult to really adapt and just get used to the new sensitivity or binds that you have. So with that being said, that's wrap up for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys liked it, make sure you guys do hit that like button. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Make sure you guys do hit that notification bell so you guys get notified for every new upload. And I do stream every single day on this channel, so when you guys hit that notification bell, you guys will get notified when I go live. Like I said, every single day at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's a ton of fun. I get a lot of wins, so definitely come by my streams if you guys are interested in seeing that. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys watching the video, and alright guys, I'll see you next video.